Hello again, you join us once more on Dartmoor. I'm once again joined by my good friend and camping stig, Sam from Camp Cookout Adventures.
Hello.
Tonight, Sam is going to make hot pot and I'm going to make my doctors nervous. Well, I've been quiet for a while, partly because I'm buying a house, but mainly because I broke my foot. And before you ask, no, it wasn't an exciting, incredibly death-defying moment. I slipped in a customer's garden and yeah, ouch. So I've actually broken my 5th metatarsal, which is a doctor's speak for one of the long bones that goes down the length, makes up the bulk of the middle of your foot. Look away now if you're squeamish. It was pretty painful when I did it, to be fair. You can look back now. I've actually been told I've got to carry on using the foot. Apparently if I don't, it can kind of heal in a stiffened position, which might affect me doing things like the running going forward. So yeah, it's been life as usual. Now I'm reasonably certain walking on Dartmoor wasn't what they had in mind when they said I should stay active. But rest assured, we are reasonably close to the car. I'm not on my own. Again, I've got Sam here from Camp Cookout, and I think we'll be all right. So stress seems to be kind of defining me this week. Buying a house whilst working full time and not being able to run and swim and cycle and do the other things that give me some respite. It's been tough, to be fair. So today has come as rather a welcome little break, unlike the foot. When you only do one activity, when something like an injury stops it dead, it can kind of derail your entire state of mind. For me, the best hobbies and activities are ones that are multifaceted. Take golf, for example. You may play golf on a Sunday, but when it's raining and you can't play golf, well, you can watch it on the telly, can't you? Or you can read the magazines or lust after whatever new piece of golfist, clubbery stuff that golfists are into. I mean, even when you're stuck at work and you really are unable to get out, you can always kind of convince yourself, well, it's okay because I'm saving up for that new piece of equipment and that new toy that I can use when I do get back out. I find that kind of looking at hobbies in this way can help me get through something like this. I can't wait to get back to cycling, but it's not going to happen for probably another 6 to 8 weeks. So in the meantime, I've taken the time to read a bit and service my bikes and make some of the changes to my kit I've wanted to do. And I've been looking at new routes and thinking about new training plans and strategies just to keep myself cycling, even though I'm not actually cycling. And it's that frame of mind that's kept me getting up and going out for the last couple of weeks. Today it's a light hike on Dartmoor, but last week it was just going to the shops. But I wasn't going to the shops, I was keeping myself fit and active so that when I do get cycling, I'm not destroyed by the first hill I come across. It's so important to not let something like this completely derail you. Actually, a friend of mine a little while ago who was a very, very keen runner injured himself quite badly and discovered swimming. So maybe this is the chance for you to take up a new hobby or discover something that maybe you wouldn't have tried otherwise. You actually just kind of goes to reinforce what I was saying a minute ago, which is, would I have been out today doing this? Probably not. I'd have probably gone for a quick run because it's at home and it's easy. I'm only really here today doing 2 hikes in a row because I can't run and I can't swim and cycle. So I really do sometimes think that the best opportunities come when you aren't looking for them, when you're kind of forced. What's it they say about necessity being the mother of invention? Well, I've caught back up with Sam, who's moving considerably faster than me today.
Tortoise in the hair.
Mate, where are we? I mean, other than paradise, maybe?
It's very nice, isn't it?
It's
This
absolutely ridiculous.
is Burrator Reservoir. So there's a beautiful circular walk all the way around it. And we're over the north side of it where the car park is, just around Burrator Arboretum. So it's got that little decked area, which is a little riverside walk, which we've just done. It's really lush with all the trees. It's gorgeous.
Oh, such a nice place to come out, isn't it? This is, yeah.
We struck it right with the weather today as well, Dan. It's really, really pleasant.
Sam's not wrong. This really is a stunning spot. If you're looking for a free activity within 10 minutes walk of a car park, and actually, do you know, I'm not going to say wheelchair accessible. If you had a half decent mobility scooter, this would be doable, all of this, especially with the boardwalk. Oh. Whoa. Oop. Just going to break my other leg a minute. Oh. Ta-da. Oh. It's like Bambi on ice.
Like Bambi on crystal meth.
You know, Sam, I think there's a market, you know, for hiking versions of these boots.
Well, your Aldi special.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, complete with the Aldi carrier bag, but obviously I'd have to get sponsorship for that, and just saying, Aldi. So we've just started making our way up the side of Sheep's Tor, which is where we're going to be spending the night. Now, Sam's been here before and he assures me the views are magnificent, I think was the word he used the first time around. So yeah, Sam has actually done a video covering this area before where he walked around the reservoir, which you can find in the link. Well, I'll stick it on screen somewhere and obviously in the description if you'd like to see what it looks like when it's a lovely sunny day. I've just run into another guy with a duffed left leg, so I'm not the only muppet up here roaming around on crutches. Mate, so you've obviously been up here before then?
Indeed, yeah, once before. It's a stunning sight, isn't it?
Oh man, that view up already is ridiculous. I definitely feel like over here though, that like a dragon should come over that hill at some point.
It is very Tolkien-esque, isn't it?
It is. What was it like the last time you came up?
Well, last time I was up here was summertime.
Right.
And instead of all of this burnt blonde grass everywhere, we had like chest-high ferns. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like a totally different landscape.
I came back as the crow flies thinking, oh, that'd be just much easier instead of walking all the way around, or just go straight down. And of course, not being able to see your feet.
Oh yeah.
Because you're in chest-high ferns is a bit of
it's not exactly stable either, is it? It looks, it's not just grass, it's actually quite bumpy.
There's rabbit holes, there's all kinds of stuff all over the place, yeah, so yeah, it was a bit of a tricky descent.
You know, I've got to stop here a sec, and not because my leg's aching, but because just look at where I am stood. The sheer scale of this place is quite literally breathtaking. And to go from the foresty woodland area out onto these moors and suddenly just be surrounded by it is. You know, you said the view would be good when we were last up here, but I don't think I realised just how good.
Yeah, it's hard to get it on camera, man. You just don't get the depth of field.
You don't.
And how vast it is. You're talking horizonscapes of just fantastic scenery. It's so cool. We're about 4:05. I believe sunset's around 6 o'clock at the moment, being in mid-February.
Oh, it's a couple of hours, isn't it?
So,
mind you, at this pace, mate, it might take me that long to get to the top.
we'll still get a bit of daylight left by the time we reach the summit.
Well, given the way the weather was the last time I was here, and that the forecast actually is cold tonight, I mean -2 or something, I kind of resounded myself to the fact that this was going to be a really miserable, wet, windy, cold hike up the side of a hill. But I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous out here. I mean, we really did strike it lucky with the weather today. So we're just sort of coming up now to the rocky outcrop at the top of Sheep's Tor, where we're going to be spending the night. You know, since starting all of this, getting active and losing the weight and overcoming cancer twice, I guess, I promised myself I was not going to sort of sit idle. I was going to give myself new challenges every day. And you know, when I woke up this morning and thought, oh God, you know, I wonder if I can walk up to the top of a tor with a broken foot, I had no idea that my reward would be this. This is just one of those places where you cannot look anywhere without just feeling like it's just incredible. This is just absolutely breathtaking. Mate.
Epic.
Oh, it's just insane, isn't it?
Epic proportions,
It's
yeah.
absolutely insane. Never in all my... I've just never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it.
So many built up places, you're always robbed of a horizon, aren't you? Especially towns and cities. You just don't get the scope where you can really appreciate the vastness of everything. You get that on the moor. It's just a feeling of openness and just complete. You see the size of things, the scale of everything. It's great.
It just goes on forever. I
does.
quite literally, for a moment there, was completely speechless. Sam's trying to ask me questions. I'm like, oh, you're all right? How's your foot? And I'm just... I know this I mean, this isn't going to come across in camera, and I don't think there's any way it ever can. But this is just magnificent. This is special. Sam's been talking to me a little about the fact that, you know, wild camping on Dartmoor might soon be disappearing for people, depending on what the sort of high courts and stuff say. And I think it would be tragic, because to not experience this, to not have at least the ability to just experience this at least once in your life is, well, it's criminal, really. It is so windy. I don't know if it's coming across on camera, but we had a real nightmare setting up Sam's tent, actually. It's really picked up. It'll make for an exciting night's camping. But Sam reckons these are some of the windiest conditions he's ever camped in. And yeah, I mean, it should be really good, but I'm not looking forward to trying to set mine up. Wow, that was quite something. Very, very, very challenging. Mine was probably a bit easier than Sam's because it's got like a cross frame design thing going on, but yeah, I think we're probably going to have to start thinking about getting some dinner cooked in a minute. The sunset is absolutely stunning, and time to just button down and enjoy the view, I guess. Right, so I thought I'd be a bit more adventurous this time than last time. Sam's kind of inspired me to at least cook properly on site. So I've got some mushrooms and some Mediterranean veg, and I've just chopped some onions and tomatoes, and I thought I might kind of do a bolognese type affair here. But rather than pasta, I've got some noodles. But I mean, the real star is I've made some bread dough, which is just flour, water, and a bit of oil, and I've put some chia seeds and a bit of nutritional yeast in, and it's risen really nicely. So I'm going to kind of have a go at campfire bread. It could be a complete disaster, but we've got the noodles as a backup. So yeah, but all that can wait, because right now I just need this kettle to boil. It is freezing cold. It's been really windy, and I'm dying for coffee. So yeah. Well, if I do say so myself, that actually has come together quite nicely. I'm quite looking forward to this. I mean, I'm still kind of apprehensive about how my sort of campfire pan fried bread thing is going to be, but oh man, even if I just eat this, I'm going to be happy at this point. Mind you, I have had coffee, and that's pretty much, that's the bar for me. Just thinking, that if I was home now cooking a meal, it'd be about the same time. I mean, I'd just be at home cooking it, but I'd probably have the radio on, or I'd have the telly going, or something playing on my phone, because it's the only time I get to watch anything, if I'm honest. And I'd have my daughter be upstairs singing and playing music and playing games, and my missus would be pottering around the house and vacuuming. And actually, to just focus on this, to just cook a meal, is, I don't know, it's that mindfulness thing that I know that, I've mentioned it in the past, but it's just bliss, isn't it? Just out in nature, it's quiet, focused on one task, and just, because I'm obviously, as I've said earlier in the video, I'm buying a house at the moment, and there's a lot of stress there as well. You've got emails and messages and things coming in, and you've got to answer them all, and sometimes to just get out, and I can't. I've got no internet right now. I can't focus on the house buying thing. Yeah, just me and Sam here, and just focusing on one thing. It's really refreshing. Look at that, a proper little campfire bread. I'm actually quite impressed with myself, because I'm an alright cook, but I'm not like an adventurous cook like that. But yeah, that's wicked. That's made my night already. I think it's gonna be good. Oh my god. Oh. Just what a way to end the day. Okay, well that was pucker. That was so nice. Just a few creature comforts when you're out somewhere like this is just, it completely changes your experience. Now we've kind of had to retire to the tents because the wind has really picked up. As you can see, my tent is getting rattled around quite strongly, and it's already cold enough that my GoPro has started to complain about the cold. So I'm running off the power bank and stuff already. It is cold. I've just checked the app, and we're expecting it with a wind chill factor to be somewhere between -4 and -6 up here tonight. So that's quite severe, isn't it? I'm hoping the tents will withstand the wind. My tent's actually doing quite well. After last time, and it being so bitterly cold, and I slept okay, but I did have my moments. I did treat myself to a nice brand new, high-end sleeping bag, sort of a -20 something degrees C. So I'm hoping I'll have a better night this time than I did last time. Sam has treated himself to a new sleeping mat, although he's over there inflating it now, and I know you can't hear it because the wind's blowing so strongly, but it does sound somewhat like a dog choking on a bone. I'll go over in a bit, I think, and I'll see how he's coping with that one. But yeah, so this is my little den for the night. We're gonna settle down, maybe have a glass of something cheeky, and just have a bit of a chat. So we thought we'd just retire to the one tent. I don't think sitting outside is the smartest idea.
Well, I think actually it might be helping weighing this one down, because it might be a bit of a risk of blowing away.
You've got half your tent pegs in it, half mine as well. I don't think it's going anywhere.
Yeah, we've double pegged it everywhere. All right, we cut that bit.
Mate, I just, it's what are we doing? Why do we pick the weather to come and do it? I would just check the weather app, and I was just saying a minute ago that the forecast tonight with the wind chill factor is like -4 to -6.
Yeah, well, you wanted to try out that winter sleeping bag.
I did, but this is going to be something else, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So I take it you're warm enough in here.
I'll be warm enough, I think. I don't think the warmth is even going to be an issue tonight. It's just getting blasted by this wind is going to be my main concern. It's just which concern is the most concerning at the end of the day, isn't it? The rest of them don't really matter at the time.
Oh, mate, to me, it's just nice to be away from all the hustle and bustle and going on at the moment. You've bought a house, you know the crap. It's just so stressful with mortgages getting pulled on you.
Absolutely,
and then having to go through all the rigmarole that goes with it. And there you're almost there, and then somebody says, oh, actually, I want this so-and-so form. And
it's such a shame, it's such a stressful thing buying a house, you know, first-time buyer and all the rest of it, but it just appears to be geared up against you, and it becomes such a thing that it takes all the joy out of it until you actually get your keys.
You feel a little bit resentful of the property, actually. I'm hoping that, you know, maybe not, but, you know.
It'll all turn out right in the end.
One of those things. But things like, I mean, you break your feet. It doesn't help either. That's sympathy for you right there, man. That's sympathy for you right there.
On top of it all, you break your feet.
It does take some of the enjoyment out of life, and it does make it difficult. And I understand you've injured yourself. Sam is a fantastic musician. He'll go, oh no, I'm right, but he is a fantastic musician. He actually did our theme tune to this channel. You know, do his theme tune, 10 minutes later it's back, it's done, you know. Oh yeah, I'm happy.
Excellent.
And he plays a lot of guitar, and you've got a tendon.
I've got a tendon issue at the moment. It's called de Quervain's, which affects your thumb joint. So when it comes to playing guitar, it's just a no-go, which is so upsetting. But
soul destroying if it's something you do every day. And I was just sort of saying earlier that to not be able to do this, you know, but it's finding the opportunities in it. I mean, you've taken the opportunity to start renovating your house, I notice. And
well, I mean, I'm not struggling with what to do with my time, but yeah, there's always 1,000,001 jobs to do, but you've got to make time for the things you love and enjoy, and for some reason this is one of them.
So yeah, traipsing yourself up the side of a windy mountain in the freezing temperatures and sleeping under canvas.
That's right. It's somehow.
The worst part is he's right. It's really good.
It's ridiculously peaceful and cathartic, despite this. Yes.
Okay, we've had a nice chat and a bit of a giggle and chilled out for a bit in Sam's tent. It's about 11 o'clock now, and the wind is hammering through. It must be in the sort of mid 20 miles per hour. I think that it's not supposed to get too much higher than this. I mean, the tents are rated for it, but it's just so cold. So I'm just going to see if I can get comfy in this nice sleeping bag and get an actual night's sleep. We'll find out in the morning. Night night. Well, it's about 4 o'clock in the morning, and the wind has changed direction, and I think it's picked up quite a bit, and the tent is taking a battering, as you can probably hear. And I know these tents are sort of rated for wind, but it's a pretty terrifying place to be right now. Well, unfortunately, the worst case scenario is kind of starting to occur, where the forecast has changed and the wind is picking up dramatically now. So it's not quite daylight, but I think what we've decided to do is kind of pack our stuff down. Well, we're there pretty much packed up, and we're going to try and make a break for it. I'm not going to be able to film any of this, to be fair, so you'll have to take our word for it, but it is absolutely horrendous out there. I mean, it's just struggling to stand up. It's bitterly cold. It's something like -3 now. Yeah, so here we go.
Miraculously, we've done it. We've managed to pack up our tents and all of our ground sheets and pegs and everything. Got them back in our pack in the middle of this wind. Absolutely insane. Just behind us there, to the east, we've got the sunrise just giving us a bit of red glow on the horizon, which hopefully as we journey on down we'll get a little bit more light. But the second you turn side on to the wind wearing these big packs, it just takes you like a sail. So we're going to have to be really careful descending down from here. It's going to be a real challenge. It is just cutting through me like a knife. Dan's just clipping up his tent to his bag and then we're getting the hell out of here. You alright, mate? Looking good. Whoa. Look, that's how strong it is. It's taking my head torch away. Grab it, mate.
Oh, that's better.
Just out the wind is so much different.
Well, good morning. We've survived the night. It's first light. And it is rather lovely actually, but it's not so bad. Now we're off the top of that tor, but it was just too windy to stay there. It was pretty horrific, and once the forecast had changed and predicted sort of 30-35 mile an hour winds, we had to skedaddle. But now we're just going to make our way down, and oh, it is so cold though. It's so cold. The problem we've got now, of course, is we've got to find our way back in kind of lower light, and actually it's quite disorientating up here in low light. I think Sam's got a handle, but yeah, it's a very different place to be. It's easy to think of a trip like this a little bit as a failure because you've had to kind of pack down an hour or two early. But I don't really see it that way. I think it's all part of the adventure. Instead of just another camping trip, it's the trip I'm going to be able to remember as, oh, remember that night we almost got blown off the top of a tor. It's just something to tell your friends about, isn't it? That was weird. We were literally only here a few hours ago, and it was remarkably difficult to find that gate. It's all just a big blur of grey and green at this time of the morning. There's so few landmarks to actually guide you unless you take a kind of conscious note of them as you go up. This isn't ideal with a broken foot. It's a bit on the muddy, slippy side. Still, going down was easier than coming up. Wow, it's hard to believe it can be so different just a few hundred yards down the hill. We've gone from this wide, barren landscape, blowing really strongly. I mean, you could stand like 45 degrees and the wind would sort of just suspend you there. It really was something else. But to come down the hill and suddenly we're in this beautiful forest. And it's so serene. I mean, it doesn't actually feel like there's any wind at all. It's not even that cold now, if I'm honest, not down here. Once you haven't said that, I've just hiked on the side of a hill, so make what you will of that statement. The other thing I'd just take away from this experience is that nobody gets it right all the time. Even an experienced camper like Sam, couldn't have predicted really that the weather would change quite so dramatically from the midnight forecast to the 3 a.m. one. So don't be afraid, It's okay to kind of not quite get it right all the time. There's nothing to lose really. All right. This was probably a bad example because, we could have lost our tents, but you can't let stuff like this be the reason you don't give it a go. There's always going to be an excuse not to go out, and trust me, if you're going to find one, you'll find one, whether it's because it's too cold or too wet or too windy or you got work in the morning or I don't know. Remember, the adventure starts by opening your front door, just taking that first step.
Mate, well that's another wild camp, buttoned up, back to the car, safe and sound.
Indeed.
Ish.
Nearly. Ish. We didn't get blown off the tour, so that's a winner. We'll take that as a winner.
Wow, mate, if it had been an uneventful camp, what would we have told people? At least we get to say now we were almost blown off a Cornish tour.
Well, hopefully it'll make a good video, even though I'm absolutely shattered now.
For anyone that wants to see Sam's take on this and a much better introduction to camping than mine, do pop over to his channel. That's Camp Cookout Adventures, and I've popped the link in the description.
Be happy to see you over there.
Anyway, till next time.
Cheers.